everybody, and Happy New Year. It's Friday, so it must be a bye day, and we are here in almost heaven, West Virginia, on a wonderful book pick. We're here with a longtime Midtown Scholar fan, Peter, and today we are fortunate to be purchasing Peter's library of very technical, scientific and engineering and mathematic books, many of which are on the hard sciences, especially dealing with things like pulmonary disease and math and engineering. Kathy, if you scan the books first, you'll see that it's a very technical, research-oriented collection, and we're very happy to be bringing these to the Scholar. You'll be able to go into our science and engineering sections and find these books. But we had a special guest here with Peter today, and we don't always get to talk about how collections are formed. And one of the things that we look for as booksellers, we look to purchase collections that have been accumulated over many years by collectors, because they can be they can have great depth and variety and can really help people when they're interested in answering specific questions. So it's a wonderful collection. Peter, tell us a little bit about how you collected these books over the years and what you use them for.
Well, you have to sort of understand my history. I started out as a chemical engineer and had a PhD in chemical engineering. So at that point, I had already started accumulating books, in particular related to fluid mechanics, which was my PhD thing. And then I decided that, and I had been thinking about it, that, well, actually, I worked for a couple of years in industry and taught at Wayne University in night school in advanced engineering. But then I saw ways in which I could apply the engineering techniques to the study of medicine.
Right.
And I sort of did a crazy thing. I went to medical school. And again, in medical school, I started accumulating quite a few medical books. But then after I finished medical school, I decided that I'd start probably the first biomedical engineering program in the country. And so I started accumulating books related to control theory, because I applied control theory to hemodialysis, for instance. I was a professor for 40 years. I was at the University of Michigan for most of that time, and then I saw where the big bucks were and went to the military medical school, Uniformed Services in Bethesda. And I spent actually a year at the NIH developing a biomedical engineering program there. But and then I also went into expert witness work.
Oh, there you go.
That, for instance, leads because of my mechanics interest, it leads to a lot of books on.
Well, what is gait analysis?
Well, that's how a person walks and how they trip and fall and so on.
Interesting.
So you would give expert testimony in court cases regarding falls.
Accidental injury, there's spine.
This one here.
Because I was interested in the medical legal aspects of and testifying, so I had to know a lot about what causes injuries.
That makes great sense. When you look at these books from a bookseller perspective, they are highly technical, incredibly specialized. And I mean, where are you going to walk into a bookstore and be able to get a book on gait analysis or mechanisms of head and spine trauma? But when you put them all together, it tells a narrative or a story of not only your collecting interests, but your own, specific interests over the years. Mm-hmm. How did you acquire all these books? A lot of them, I imagine, when they came out, were very expensive because they're very limited scientific type works. Did you review some for journals? Were you constantly in bookstores?
A lot of it actually was given to me. A lot of it I bought over the years.
Yeah. All the great scientific presses. This is Springer, Verlag. Tell us also, Peter, what are these models that are up above the bookcases? Now, these are not coming to Harrisburg, but they're pretty incredible. Did you do these?
I made those years ago. The thing about them is that they were built from the blueprints for the original equipment. So everything on here is exactly as much as you can do in wood.
Yeah.
I have a workshop that you wouldn't believe. And that's another problem I have is what am I going to do with that?
Well, it's pretty incredible. And so, and I want people to know if they come to the Scholar that there's also a lot of books on mathematics.
Here, by the way, these are my old textbooks.
Sure.
Particular, some of them. And, I looked at them and thought, should I save those? Well, I'm 95 years old.
It's incredible.
So I don't have a lot of years.
It's smart. You're going to make sure that people have an opportunity to enjoy and appreciate the books. And we're going to be packing them up soon and taking them back to Harrisburg, which is really an honor. It's an honor and a privilege. I wanted to mention two other things because you're a train enthusiast. It's not just the technical library, which is pretty amazing. It's also the model trains. And we have a lot of railroad enthusiasts in Harrisburg. There are obviously a lot in West Virginia as well. But tell us about your model train collection and the types of books that we have here.
Well, it's how to do different things and also some of the catalogs, guides to early trains.
Yeah.
And so, just over the years, I would pick up a thing that we go to a train meet and just pick up a book. And so
that's wonderful. And we see some of the train tracks here in the room, but so many enthusiasts in Harrisburg. So these are going to be wonderful. And there's one other very interesting specific topic, which is pyrotechnics. Now, I wouldn't expect that. I understood the trains and I understood the medical books, but you also have an extraordinary collection of books. And this is a favorite. This one we've shown on Buy Day before. That's a funny book, Backyard Ballistics. But it's all sorts of different types of books on pyrotechnics. Why did you collect those?
Well, I've enjoyed fireworks.
Yeah.
And as originally a chemical engineer, it just was a logical thing. I kept a few of the ones which were really pure chemistry.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of chemical.
A lot of practical and historical ones and fun ones in there. So we'll do that. I had the privilege in Harrisburg for a number of years we do a big fireworks display for the 4th of July. And I always got to push the button and light the fireworks. And we do it over the Susquehanna River. And it was a highlight of my time in office. But I love fireworks and I love the connections. And we're deeply appreciative of being here. Can I ask you one more thing? Tell us how you discovered the Midtown Scholar, because this is going to be on our social media for people to see.
Well, because I had heard about you, and a few years ago we were in Harrisburg, so I said, we've got to find that place.
Good.
And I was stunned. Really, I mean, it is just a palace as far as bookstore. I think anybody who likes books needs to go there.
All right. Well, now they have more reasons to come to Harrisburg, and we're about to get to work. It's a great sort of post-holiday New Year's project for us to collect all these books and to process them and to find them a new home at the Scholar. Thanks so much for inviting us into your home, Peter. Thanks for sharing some stories with us. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll watch next week and every week, Fridays at noon, for more adventures in the world of books.